Okay, so I'm going to show you a method in order to create animations in your players and trigger those animations and control when one animation transitions to another. All right, so I have a new character. It's this astronaut guy. So this looks like a sprite that has him just sitting there. He's super small, so let me scale him about 5 times larger than he is. Alright, so when you're adding a character and you want to add animations later, you don't always have to start with a set of animations. You normally would start with just a basic animation for this guy. Alright, I'm going to have him kind of float above here. I'm going to put the platformer script on him so that he has gravity and things. But let me change the name of this sprite or this object to astronaut. Okay. Next thing I want to do is I have him selected and I want to create an animation. So let's go to animations. Or actually, just go to window and animation here. And you'll be all set. Okay, so with your single sprite selected and your object selected, you just go to window and open up animation. And if it doesn't open here, you can just move it wherever it is. With the object selected, you can then add some other sprites. So I'm going to add a walking animation here. So it looks like I add a couple of these sprites. That'll work. And then drag those. Oops. Let's try again here. Not able to add those. Just a second. Okay, I skipped a step. So you start with a single sprite if you want to for your character. Rename it. Next, go to your animations folder and create animation. And this first one will be idle. You can either do astronaut idle or I'm just going to do astro idle. Alright, and then you're going to take that empty animation and just drop it on your astronaut or your player. Alright, so now you have something to work with. There's no frames here, and it's just a still animation, nothing's happening, but we can add other animations to this. So the next thing, right here where the name is, you're going to click that and choose Add Clip. And now we can actually add an animation with some sprites in it. So I'm just going to call this one Astro Walk. Alright. Then you're going to go to your sprites and you can select the sprites you want. You should be able to drag them now into the animator. Okay. You can play it and you'll see what it looks like here, this little play symbol. So you can adjust the speed. This little play button there. Alright, so that's good enough. Alright, so next I'm going to add one more, I think, for jump. So let's do new clip. Astro jump. Alright, and I'm going to select the idle and this guy. Drag it out here. Play this one. It's too fast. Looks like a walk, but that's okay. Let me make it even slower. Oops. Okay, so that is the animation I'm going to trigger for when he jumps. Okay, so once you have a few clips created, I have an idle clip. It just stands there. I have a walk and I have a jump. All right. The next step is if you click on your animation, you'll see there's these kind of puzzle pieces. They have animators. All right, and they're usually named after the object that you selected to put these on. So this one is my astronaut animator. So I'm going to go ahead and double click on this, and that will open up this type of screen. That you have these blocks, okay? And on this screen, all of your animations basically should show up. Alright, so I have a few things to control as far as what happens when I'm jumping and things like that. So I'm going to first start off with this being the Astro Idle is my start. So I'm going to make this the default. Alright, and I'm going to remove this because I kind of did it incorrectly. Alright, so there's my default Astro Idle. It's the guy that's just standing there. Okay, and then I'm going to have it transition when I use my arrow keys to move to the walking animation. Alright, so I'm going to right click on the Astro Idle, make transition, and go to Astro Walk. Alright, now I need something to control when this transitions from idle to walking. Now up here on the left there's some parameters. You're going to go ahead and click on that parameter button and choose plus. And we're going to create these are variables basically, a variable or parameter, same thing. A parameter that's a boolean, a true or false, and I'm going to say, just call it walk. Alright, so when I transition from idle to walk, I'm going to click on that transition, and what is going to happen is I'll take this walk variable and I'll turn it to true. Alright, and then I want to also make a transition to turn it off. So there's one that goes from walk to idle, so I'm going to click on that, and then select walk, and then false. Okay, so I have a transition from this one to this one. Let's test this out. Go back to my scene, back to the game, click on my astronaut, and I need to add a script here. I'm going to use the simple platform script, and I have my fish here. I'm going to take the script off of him so he doesn't move. Alright, so there's some things I need to add to this astronaut to have my simple platformer script work. One is a ground check object, so create empty. Call this ground check. Alright, and then I want to move that down so it checks the ground just a little bit below him. And then take that and drop it into the script where it says ground check. Alright, that's one thing. The next is I'm going to look at my script, and we need to control this animator. So any object that has this script, if it has an animator, this will be represented by this variable anim. So it gets the animator from the object, and then we're going to do basically turn some things on like this. This is my testing. So I'm going to test the animation with my F and my H, and I called it walk. So I just changed that from what I was doing previously. So if I save this now, when I press F, it'll walk, and when I press H, it'll stop. Or when I take my, when I press F, it starts. So you kind of get the idea. F starts it, H turns it off. Let's try it. So I pressed F, starts it, and H stops it. Alright, so that's working. So that's one thing you want to do, is kind of test it. The next thing you can do is place this where you're going to be moving around. Alright, so in this script, the movement is all based on H, which is the horizontal axis. So these values here are the points where I'm going to turn it on and off. Alright, so I'm going to take my true condition here, and I will put it here. Let's see, when it's less than max speed. Well, I'm going to have to add a curly brace to do this, because it only had one statement. Okay, and then let's see, max speed greater than max speed. Maybe this actually This might turn it off or on, but anyway, as soon as this starts to move, I'm going to turn it off, and then the else, I don't have an else, so I'm just going to go here at the bottom, and it'll be off. Well, I'm not pressing that. Alright, so let's try that. Alright, not working yet. Oh, I have to be touching the ground, so I need to add a couple things to my player, physics, rigid body. And let's try that. I need also, well, let's see. Might need a collider. Okay. There he goes. Alright, he's just sliding. The animation's not quite working yet with that. Let's try the jump. So I'm going to go here. And go to my animator, and let's turn on the jump. So right click, make transition. Go to this guy. Make another Boolean. Call it jump. Turn that to true. And then turn it off. Okay. Back to the scene. Alright, so somewhere my recording stopped. You got to do this pretty fast because I'm running out of time. But basically, I did the same thing with jump, and let me see if I can fix this. So when I jump, I want it to do the jumping animation. So I'm going to take this set bool, and I know the jumping piece is up here. When I press that guy, alright, save it. There, it started jumping. And then it should turn off when it's not on there. Alright, so that's basically it. You can set up as many animations as you want, and to turn them on and off you need these transitions. And in your script, you can start by just checking with the keys to make sure it works, and then if you have movement keys, when you take your key up, you could have a key up. When you have key up, then it starts and stops. Alright, this doesn't exactly work with this script, but you have a trigger basically to turn it to true that starts it, and one that turns it to false that stops the animation. And you can attach it to keys or some other things that you might have. Alright, so that's it.